Tension growing in the White House, frustration reportedly building around Biden as his poll numbers keep sinking. Even CNN analysts are concerned now. Watch.
He's tried to use Bidenomics because the economy is always the number one issue. The polls are suggesting that that's not necessarily going over very well with people, in part because of inflation, maybe misperceptions about some other things, maybe just an unfortunate lag. Yeah, sure, the economy might be getting better, but if voters don't perceive it in time, then he'll lose.
Joining me now is former White House Council of Economic Advisors Chairman Tomas Philipson. Thomas, great to see you. So I'm interested in that last bit from CNN, because on the one hand, they seem to be saying, yeah, the economy might be a big issue for the president. On the other, he mentioned that idea of the unfortunate lag, like people haven't woken up yet to the economy getting better. How do you read what he said?
Well, I think the problem with the White House spin on this, I call this Bidenomics, I called it spinonomics for a long time, essentially. The problem is you can't pay your bills with White House spin. Imagine if you could, we'd be very, very rich. But the lag issue, I think, is that the White House essentially wants to claim, like a football team that's down 30 points in halftime and then scored a field goal, that they're winning. They're not winning. It's improving the last few months, but the disaster that took place the first 2 years and a half has basically swamped what's going on the last half year. And that's the issue that's taking place, I think.
Yeah, I mean, prices haven't come down. Inflation rate might be declining, but prices are still high. You're still paying that wherever you go to buy things. Now, polls are sinking. Interestingly, instead of Democrats looking at their own policy failures, they're again blaming MAGA Republicans. Watch this.
People that didn't go to college have a pretty good rage on their hands. That's what you really want in an election, is a rage. It can be black rage or white rage or rural rage. In this case, it's rural rage. They are so angry at the liberal establishment, the coastal elite. They look at people on television, they say, oh, those people on Saturday Night Live, those snarling rich kids, I know who they are. They're all trust funders. They don't have to worry about us. And the regular guy in the country goes, there they are, snarling and making fun of us again. And every time we make fun of Trump, we're making fun of them. That's the weird, it's a weird thing. But in a way, it's like fighting terrorism. I mean, we think we just put the army in, or Israel just puts the IDF in, they're going to solve the problem. It never solves the problem, because you enrage people. And we did it with Afghanistan, and we did it with Iraq. We enraged the enemy to the point where they're more fiery than ever, and they hate us more than ever. Armies don't make peace.
Rural rage and terrorism. Thomas, what do you make of that?
I don't think voters are stupid. I think it's very, very simple why the poll numbers are down, essentially. The economy is the number one issue typically in an election, and the economy is the number one issue where the Trump policies are favored over the Biden policies. This is not rocket science why voters are kind of down on Biden. In particular, this continuing claim by the White House that labor markets are great, even though people are paid less in real terms under his administration, essentially, I think kind of just goes against common sense, and it goes against the White House rhetoric. It also goes against what a lot of economists say, that the labor markets are great. They're not great for workers. They might be great for companies in terms of real wages being down.
So you've got 2 trading days left this year. Stocks have been flying lately. Some would say that's a sign that the economy in 2024 could strengthen quite a bit. What's your view as an economist on that?
Well, all eyes are on inflation, essentially. And the White House wanted to claim that this is a supply chain issue, that is to say the White House is not responsible, but COVID is. But if there was a supply chain issue, here's the problem. When supply got cut back, obviously prices go up, but they don't go up universally across the whole economy, only for the sectors that are cut off. The second issue is, once supply is back, which is now, we should have a deflation in prices, a reduction to normal levels, not a continued increase at a lower rate, essentially. So the supply chain issue doesn't really add up with the data, I think. And I think that's the real issue going forward. How much inflation is going to be sticky into 2024?
Okay, yeah, I mean, the message is, hey, we've beat inflation, we're on our way down, but you're saying it could be stickier than we think in 2024. We'll leave it there. Tomas Philipson, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Brian.